Welcome to another Soccer Down Here 1v1. Time to catch up with the Chattanooga Red Wolves, and it is a three-way dance this time around. It is myself, it is the Director of Business Operations, Mitch Martino, and Academy Director Greene to discuss something very, very cool that has come to the fore when it comes to the foundation. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us for a 1v1, or actually it's a 2v1. Who am I kidding?
Yeah, well, thank you for having us. We appreciate being able to come on.
All right, so really good news, Mitch, that came out from the Red Wolves here with the season just passed in League One, and it involves the foundation and a donation. So go into that for everybody who's not familiar with what went down.
Yeah, so we actually just launched the Chattanooga Red Wolves Foundation. It's something that we've had in the works for a really long time. And you know, we figured Giving Tuesday was kind of the perfect time to do that launch. And with it came kind of our first initiative, and definitely one of our main initiatives that's going to happen with this foundation. And we call it the Pass It Forward Initiative. So as pretty much everybody knows, playing youth soccer in America comes with a very high price tag. And so the goal of this Pass It Forward Initiative is to help eliminate those financial barriers and, make high-level soccer, accessible to everyone regardless of their financial background. And hopefully by being able to scholarship some kids and everything like that, we're able to help kids get into college that otherwise wouldn't be able to get there, maybe land a professional career and go through our path to pro within Chattanooga, everything like that. And to kick the whole campaign off, our ownership actually contributed $100,000 towards scholarshiping kids who qualify for financial aid within our academy. So that's kind of the quick rundown of it.
Derek, when it comes to the footprint for soccer and for youth soccer in that particular section of Tennessee, in Northwest Georgia, in Northeast Alabama, for those not familiar with the footprint and the talent base and just the fever for the sport there, for those not familiar, break it down.
Yeah, it's, one of the things that we've seen through the sport itself in this country over the last 30 years, it's been a culture shift, right? To where, soccer was on the back burner and now it's become one of the mainstream sports, and you see it everywhere. And with that has become growth in all the communities across the country, including here, as you mentioned, in our region. And I think we're seeing growth in numbers. I think we're seeing strength in numbers when it comes to getting better players together. It helps us go represent ourselves. We just had some teams go down to one of the top tournaments in the Southeast in Georgia this past weekend, the Generation Adidas Cup, and won some age groups there. And it was huge to be able to go do that and represent ourselves and our organization. And with this opportunity then becomes an expansion with more kids having access to the sport, right? So the recreational level type soccer is where everyone starts cutting their teeth. Usually it's $125 to play for the season. You don't travel, and then all of a sudden you want to go to the next level because you're pretty good or you want to get better, and you're stuck with a price tag that really stops the growth and expansion. We see so many kids drop out of the sport when they hit the middle school age group because they can't afford it, and we want to help stop that. And so to your point, with the talent base here, with the growth of the popularity of the sport, this contribution and this foundation, this Pass It Forward initiative only helps to expand that and keep kids involved longer.
Mitch, what's it been like for the Red Wolves ownership group, the front office, the players in the community? What's it been like to see the response from the younger aged players, from the families, from that three-dimensional aspect of what soccer means? What's it been like to see that outreach to the Red Wolves in year one?
We've seen an overwhelming amount of support from our academy families. We definitely consider the academy, in a sense, the foundation of our organization. On weekends, when you go over out to the fields, and I go watch any of the games, all the parents are wearing our gear, all the kids are wearing our gear. It's really cool to see. And it's also, one of my favorite things is just seeing the professional players interact with the academy kids, because, smiles really shoot on their faces real quick, and it's awesome to see. Unfortunately, we weren't able to do much of that this past year, but it's definitely something that we're very eager to get back to doing, and, having the professional athletes go and help out at training sessions and everything like that, I think makes a big difference.
Derek, when you have a kid who enjoys the sport, but for one reason or another, their family can't invest to the levels that, they would like to, when they are presented with an opportunity like this in a camp environment, and you get to see the light come on for the kid, and at the same time the light come on for the family about what the sport can mean to a young athlete, to someone who just enjoys, regardless of success level and ability level. But when you get to see the light come on for that entire family, what does that mean for someone like you and for an academy?
Well, you realize, one of the reasons you get into this early on in your career is that you enjoy influencing and making a difference and an impact in the lives of kids, and you can do it through sport. Fortunately for me, I grew up playing in this country and sort of went the path that we talked about a second ago with. I started as a rec player, became a competitive player, played the men's club team at the University of Tennessee, spent some time on an amateur team here in Chattanooga, known as the Chattanooga Express back in the days. And to have this opportunity to help kids learn and grow in life, when they see, there's nothing more exciting than winning, no matter what level you're on. And that thrill of victory and the shot of adrenaline and just the things it can do to you when you see what hard work does and what perseverance does, and whether you're facing perseverance and an injury and battling through that, and accountability to a team, and knowing that if you push yourself to new limits that you can accomplish new goals, no matter what level a kid is playing on, you can teach those same life lessons. And so for us to be involved in the sport and be able to have that influence on young children, and then again, as they get older and sort of separate themselves out at different levels, the competition obviously becomes better, the commitment becomes higher. And for us, just making sure every kid has the access to take that process as far as they want is important to us.
All right, Mitch, here's the crystal ball question for you. When you look at what the Red Wolves are doing with this, with the foundation, with the donation, with this, and I'll discuss it from the level of building a house. This is the foundation of the foundation with its donation and all this kind of stuff. Over the next handful of years, how would the Red Wolves like to see this continue to grow and evolve, not necessarily just in the footprint of where the Red Wolves are, but just in general? Where would you like to see this house continue to grow and evolve over time to where you really can make an impact, not just with this initial investment, but over time? What are you guys looking to accomplish, say, 3-5 years down the line?
Yeah. So, there's a lot of different ways that we see that this could go. Our goal with the large initial investment, and we will continue to invest as an ownership group to, provide scholarship opportunities. It's something we've done over the past few years as well. But our goal is by, making this an official foundation, an official initiative, is that other people are, able to contribute as well too. Derek can probably double up on this, but plenty of times parents go up to him asking how, they can scholarship their kid's team, or a couple kids that play on their team, all that sort of stuff. And so I think the way that we really envision it is we'd like for, a lot of the donations to come in to where it's not just our ownership's donations, but a large pool, and we're able to get to a situation to where there's, we can scholarship every single kid who applies and qualifies for financial aid. And then we can start focusing on, potentially reducing our overall academy dues. We just want to keep scaling and growing it up more and more and more. I think a lot of people, when they look at youth soccer in America, really see the paywall as a huge deterrent for growth. And so I think overall our goal is to just keep scaling this. And I think when it comes to a professional side of things as well, the more kids we can get involved in our academy, and the more we can eliminate that paywall, the more kids we have coming up through our system, which, includes multiple academies, our 2 League 2 teams. We have our women's team as well, and then our first team. So hopefully this will also help really create a true strong pipeline to our first team as well.
Yeah, because, Derek and Mitch makes a great point here, is it's all about, while being a part of the community and growing that foundation there in the community, it's also about the pipeline that can be created, because with the League Two team, and this is just the Southeastern example, with the League Two team in Dalton, Georgia, which is a high school hotbed, nationally ranked programs, on the boys' side when it comes to the talent pool that the Catamounts have on a yearly basis. It's building those steps to continue to grow the franchise and the success of the franchise as well, stuff that you're seeing with professional leagues as well. It's that academy that gets you to, in this case, League Two, League One, women, and all that kind of stuff. It's all these intertwined pieces that can create success on the pitch and in the community as well. Yeah.
It is. And I think to what Mitch's point there too, is we want to not only make it affordable, we want this to become part of the culture, that the Red Wolves are part of the soccer culture here. And I think it's growing and it's going, but that long-term goal would be not only affordability and accessibility, but to your point, it's making sure that all these communities around us have access to the game. And some of that could be things outside of the scholarship initiative just to grow the sport, right? Things like mini pitches. We haven't even gone that direction yet, but how can we go into maybe some underserved communities and make a safe place to play for kids? And we can send a professional player, professional coach out there one night a week and start to influence kids in those communities. And so that we're growing our brand and making sure that people understand that we're very invested in this community for kids, for the sport. And to Mitch's point again, that ultimately we want to grow professional soccer players from this market. And the only way you do that is to become part of the culture and to invest. And that's what we're excited about.
All right. So Mitch, what else would you like to get out there for the message when it comes to this new venture that the Red Wolves are putting out there, which is fantastic on a bunch of different fronts? What else do folks need to know?
So, I think we've just covered kind of like the first initiative with the Pass It Forward initiative. The Red Wolves Foundation, though, will be very far-reaching, whether it's youth soccer initiatives like this one or, Christmas initiatives. We're getting ready to do a pretty large donation to a handful of local organizations, whether it's food kitchens or helping, families buy presents that had rough years, all that sort of stuff. And this foundation is going to have a long reach for sure. And it's we'll start to develop and get the messaging and the verbiage out there. But yeah, we're looking to have this create a good channel and avenue for us to really create change and help benefit the community for the better.
All right. So then for folks that want to look into it, get invested into it, and keep an eye on what's going on, Mitch, how do they do it?
So we've got information on our website, but the best source of information for now is through our social media channels. We're getting ready to launch a foundation-specific website. It's not finally up there yet. So the information's on our first team socials and our first team website. Our socials are all chat with 2 T's, Red Wolves. And then our website, all you got to do is look up Chattanooga Red Wolves and it pops right up. So.
All right. So with that being done on social media, Derek, what else do folks need to know from an academy perspective that we haven't touched on so far?
Yeah, I think we just are going to grow into one of the best academies in the region, and we want people to be a part of this that want to be a part of it. And so I would just say that, with the rising cost of the sport, there'll be a place here for you. If you've got the ability and the effort and the want to, we'll eventually be building out a model where everybody can have access, regardless of age and socioeconomic background or status, to be part of the Red Wolves. And so don't ever let cost be something that holds you back, or you think the Red Wolves are a professional organization and it's going to cost too much. We'll help you along the way, and we'll make sure we help you grow as a player and as a person, and make sure we can do it for you affordably.
Mitch Martino, Director of Business Operations for the Chattanooga Red Wolves, Academy Director Derek Greene. Guys, thanks for hanging out with us for a Soccer Down Here 2v1 to break down everything about something very, very cool and new happening up there in Chattanooga in that particular part of Tennessee, Georgia, Alabama here in the Southeast. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for having us.